A very good afternoon and warm welcome to all of you again. I am CA Dipti Jain and I welcome you to GyaanStation Knowledge Booster session jointly with Income Tax Bar Association Ahmedabad. GyaanStation Knowledge Booster session is conducted by GyaanStation every Thursday from 4 to 5:30 with an object to update and brush up the knowledge of our professional brothers and sisters. In the busy life, we hardly find time to update ourselves. So, weekly 1 hour at KBS will act as a confidence booster in our day-to-day professional routine. This in turn will help you to deal with clients' requirement in an innovative way. So stay tuned with GyaanStation by joining its YouTube channel and WhatsApp community. We can proudly say that this is the 4th year of our EdTech platform and we have received award at Bombay Stock Exchange for our professional services and the programs. Through GyaanStation, we are into corporate trainings as well as online educational trainings also. Today's session is very important. Today we have the income tax expert with us, CA Pramod Jain ji, Central Council member of ICAI from Delhi, to enlighten us on the topic applicability of tax audit and calculation of gross receipts turnover to file ITR from income tax, from tax audit perspective. In this topic, we will understand the various aspects of turnover and gross receipts. So without taking much time, I request our President of Income Tax Bar Association, CA Sridhar Shah ji, to please welcome our today's speaker as well as all our respectable, very good active participants. Over to you, Sridhar.
Thank you, Dipti ji. It is pleasure to have Pramod sir on this platform, and also a topic which is actually very important because in like turnover, as said, there is no such definition of turnover there, and still it is a relevant thing for so many things. And who could be the more better than Pramod sir to put light on this such a topic. And not just for tax audit purpose. Even if you are not supposed to get tax audit and due date is 31st July. So yes, with GyaanStation, we are trying to bring the more relevant and currently important topics every time so that people can have benefit of it. Also, I wish to thank all the participants for joining, and I wish they spread the word more and more so that this platform can serve better knowledge to more and more people. I'll not take much time. Over to you, Dipti ji, for session purpose.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I request our teammate, CA Prachi Palrecha from Pune, to please introduce our today's eminent speaker. Over to you, Prachi.
Thank you, Dipti ma'am. So going towards it, CA Pramod Jain sir, he is a paragon of professional excellence and academic achievements. He also holds an impressive lineup of qualifications that itself speaks volumes about his dedication and his expertise in the field of finance and accounting. Sir has also been a significant figure in numerous committees and boards, and along with that, he has also been elected as a Central Council member of ICAI for consecutive years. And he has chaired several crucial committees, including the Accounting Standards Board and the Experts Advisory Committee. His contributions are not only limited till here, they also extend to international platforms. He is a member of the SME Implementation Group of the IFRS Foundation in the UK. And apart from that, he has also delivered 1,700 lectures, 1,700 lectures, and he has authored numerous articles and books on critical topics like income tax, corporate tax, audits. His books such as Chartered Accountants, Documentation and Compliance for Audits and Reviews, and another book, Limited Liability Partnership, Law, Procedures and Taxation, are invaluable resources for all the professionals in this field. Today, CA Pramod Jain sir will delve into the topic of understanding turnover or gross receipts to file ITR from a tax audit perspective. It is a subject that promises to provide us with deep insights and practical knowledge. Hence, without any further delay, I would now like to welcome our esteemed speaker, CA Pramod Jain, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Prachi, for the kind introduction. Deepti Jainji, Shridharji, and of course the whole, all the participants. Sabko mera namaste. And I thank the GyaanStation and the Ahmedabad Income Tax Bar Association for giving me an opportunity to share my views on a very important topic, which is basically applicability of the tax audit. So, what I normally do in a webinar, that I share my presentation, and I normally do ask questions. So there may be a cases where you are asking question, but initially I ask a question. So when I ask a question, I'll request you to answer. So you can put your answer in the chat box. I'll see from there, and then we will proceed, because a lot of questions I do have, so that through the webinar also we can have a very interactive session. So I suppose
So you can share the PPT.
So is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Great. Great. So let us start straightforward with a very, very simple question, that does anyone out here do or conduct a tax audit under section 44 AD of the Income Tax Act? क्या कोई 44 AD में tax audit करता है? Does anyone do that? Please give your replies in the chat box. No. No. सुरेश जी का कहना yes. सुधीर जी, आशा शर्मा जी का क्या कहना है no. राधिका जी का no. सभी का no है, सिर्फ एक का yes है. Okay. Great. Great. Yes. Rightly, there is no audit under section 44 AD. An audit is only and only under one section, that is section 44 AB, which contains 4 clauses. So in case you have to just see one section, that is section 44 AB. It contains 5 clauses. So the audit would be there only and only if an assessee is covered under any of these 5 clauses. If the assessee is not covered in any of these 5 clauses, then there would be no tax audit under Income Tax Act. And then apart from a company or an LLP or a society which is required to get their financial statement audited under any other law, their due date of return would be 31st July and not the 31st October. So I have to be very, very careful whether the tax audit is legally required or not. So if an assessee is covered under any of these 5 clauses, then of course he has to go for Rule 6G, and then Form 3CA, Form 3CB, and its annexure Form 3CD, and penalty under Section 271B. Now, what are these 5 clauses under Section 44AB? Now, 5 clauses. First, clause A: if an assessee is having a business income and its sales turnover or gross receipts exceed rupees 1 crore or 10 crore, we'll be talking about that, then the audit is required under Section 44ABA. In case the assessee is rendering any profession and his gross receipts are exceeding rupees 50 lakhs, then the audit would be under Section 44ABB. If the assessee is covered under is having a business income which is covered under Section 44AE, 44BB, or 44BBB, in that case, if he is declaring the income less than the deemed profit under those respective presumptive taxation sections, then the audit would be under Section 44ABC. 44AE is for the goods transport vehicles where they own less than 10 trucks. Right? In case there is a profession which is covered under Section 44ADA, and that assessee is declaring deemed profit less than 50% and his total income is exceeding the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, then the audit would be under section 44 ABD. And in case a business is covered under section 44 AD4 and his total income is exceeding the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, then the audit would be under section 44 ABE. Apart from these 5 clauses, there is no other tax audit, right? So if we see again, this A, B, C, D, E, A is for business, B is for profession, C, D, E, all 3 are for declaring the income less than the deemed profit. In this 3 also, again, if I talk about the C, if the profit is declared less than the deemed profits, the audit is required. But in D and E, another condition is to be seen, that whether the total income, the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, is exceeding, the total income is exceeding the maximum amount not chargeable to tax or not. So in case the total income is a loss or not exceeding, in the case of individual HF, that 2.5 lakhs, in that case, there would be no tax audit, no tax audit. Now, my one question out here, can a company, a private limited company, avail of any of the presumptive taxation? Can it file its return under the presumptive taxation scheme? No. No. Suresh ji, Reddy ji, Aparna ji, Shilpa Jain ji, everyone, Vishal Doshi ji, everyone is saying no. No. However, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. How and why? Suppose there is a company, a private limited company, which is owning less than 10 goods carriage vehicle. It is owning less than 10 goods carriage vehicle. It is mandatorily required to declare its income under section 44AE. If it doesn't, then the audit would be under section 44AB. That's why if you see ITR 6, it contains the presumptive income scheme in the ITR 6 also. So kindly take care. If a company is engaged in the goods transport vehicle business, owning less than 10 trucks, in that case, either the deemed income, and if not, straightforward, go for the tax audit, irrespective of your turnover receipts. Now, if the assessee is covered under any of these 5 clauses, then the audit would be required under section 44AB. And then rule 6G comes into play, where they say, okay, issue the reports under form 3CA and 3CB. 3CD are the particulars to these 2 reports. So when do we normally issue form 3CA? 3CA कब issue करते हैं? When do we issue form 3CA? निशु जी आएगा, बोथरा जी, उस पर डिस्कस करेंगे हम बाद में. Shridhar Shah ji, audit under another act, right? Right. In case of company audit, Richi Saxena is saying, right, very right. So let us take a very simple case. Suppose there's a private limited company. A private limited company which is incorporated on, say, 1st of February 2024, 1st February 2024. And its turnover in the 2 months is, say, 15 crores. So tax audit is required. So for this private limited company, which form will you issue the audit report, 3CA or 3CB? (3CA or 3CB? I've got 3 answers saying 3CB, 1 answer 3CA. Mona Ji is saying, Piyush Ji is also saying 3CA. So 3CA. So now we have got more 3CAs. Shilpa Jain, Hemant Agrawal, Madhuri Ji, everyone saying. So Richi saying 3CA and 3CB both. दोनों कैसे इश्यू हो सकते हैं? टैक्स ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में तो एक ही फॉर्म जाएगा, 2 कैसे चले जाएंगे? Right? So the answer is 3CB. The reason, as per the Companies Act 2013, if a company is incorporated on or after 1st of January if a company is incorporated first on or after 1st of January, then its financial year as per the Companies Act ends in the next financial, the 31st March next year. So in this case, the financial year as per the Companies Act would not be 31st March 24, but it would be 31st March 25. So for March 24, where the tax audit is required, for the 2 months, the audit is not done under Companies Act. Not required, not done. You cannot do it. It is not required. Hence 3CB. So March 24, it would be 3CB. March 25, 3CA or 3CB? A. Surajji, Sridharji, Madhurji, Savdarji, everyone is saying 3CA. Good. But the answer is 3CB. The answer is 3CB. Why? Let us have a very, very clear understanding. When we talk about tax audit, the tax audit is done of the financial statements for which the income tax return is to be filed. The income tax return is to be filed for 12 months. 1st April 24 to 31st March 25. However, the audit under the Companies Act is done from the 1st of February 24. Companies Act में audit हो रहा है 14 months का. Income tax में चाहिए 12 months का. So March 25, there would be 2 audits. One for the financial statements for the Companies Act for 14 months under the Companies Act, and one for the 12 months under the Income Tax Act, 3CB. We need to understand key audit required of what? Of that financial statement for which the ITR is being filed. Right? We said audit is required under any other law. Yes, required. But for these 14 months audit, for this 12 months audit is not required under the Companies Act. Under the Companies Act, it is for 14 months. So I have to keep that in mind, right? Now let us take another case. Say there is a limited liability partnership and there the tax audit is required. So in the case of LLP, which form will you issue, 3CA or 3CB? For limited liability partnership, tax audit is required. You will issue 3CA or 3CB. Manmeet ji saying 3CA, Manish ji, Suresh ji, Neil ji 3CB, Sheetal ji 3CB, Doshi ji A, Amit ji A. So we have got both the views, 3CA and 3CB. You know, under the Limited Liability Partnership Act, audit is required. If my turnover exceeds 40 lakhs, and when I'm doing a tax audit, the turnover would be exceeding 1 crore. Sir, if audit, Swati ji, I just said, under the LLP Act, the audit is required, my turnover is exceeding 40 lakhs. And when I'm doing a tax audit, the turnover would be exceeding 1 crore, na? So 40 lakh to increase karegi. So whenever there is an audit, there could be only one. If the tax audit is required, then it would be always 3CA for the limited liability partnership, right? It is not only companies, please. My only intention here to have that a clarity of concept that it is not only companies. Audit required under any other law, right? Now this is a very, very simple question. Thus, now we have to do an audit under the LLP Act. So when we are issuing this audit report under LLP Act, what would be the format which we'll be using for the LLP audit? Audit report का format कहाँ से लेंगे? LLP Act का. जितेंद्र जी, I'm just saying अगर आपको LLP Act में audit करना है, audit होता है, तो LLP Act का audit report का format क्या होगा? No answers as of now. आइडिया नहीं. एक बात तो क्लियर है ना कि किसी भी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट का ऑडिट इन दिस कंट्री, एनी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट ऑडिट कैन बी डन ओनली बाय अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट इन प्रैक्टिस. मनोज जी, ऑडिट रिपोर्ट का फॉर्मेट, ऑडिट रिपोर्ट फॉर्मेट शुड बी ऑफ इनकम टैक्स एक्ट ओनली। एलएलपी एक्ट के अंदर इनकम टैक्स का कैसे आएगा? एक बात तो अपन ये समझ ले, अगेन व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग, दैट पूरी कंट्री में फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट का ऑडिट, या कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी आल्सो, कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी अंडर महाराष्ट्र एक्ट, यस, देन आल्सो 3CA। शीतल जी, शेड्यूल 3 में कोई ऑडिट रिपोर्ट का फॉर्मेट नहीं है। देखो, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ना कि पूरी कंट्री के अंदर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट का ऑडिट सिर्फ सीए इन प्रैक्टिस कर सकता है, और सीए इन प्रैक्टिस कहता है मुझे तो पता ही नहीं कौन सी रिपोर्ट इशू करनी है, मेरे अलावा कोई कर नहीं सकता और मुझे पता ही नहीं क्या करना है। कैसे चलेगा ऑडिट प्रोफेशन? जरा सोचिएगा एक बार आप। फॉर ओनली एनी ऑडिट in the whole country, only one thing, that is standards on auditing issued by ICI, nothing else. Companies Act doesn't provide the format. No one provides the format. The format is only and only under the standards on auditing issued by ICI, the SS 700 series. ये Companies Act में भी वही से आता है, SS 700, 705, 706, 701. There is no other format in the whole country. Suppose you have to do an audit, you have to do an audit of say a mandir or a trust, or say some friends are doing some activity and they want you to issue an audit report. Which is the format? You don't need to go anywhere else. When it is audit, standards on auditing SS 700 series, please. Right? Chali. Let us go back to our presentation. We have discussed practically when is the form 3CA to be issued. That is where in case of a person who is required to get his account audited under any other law, and form 3CB for all the other case. 3CD is purely a particulars and an annexure to both form 3CA or 3CB. Right? Now, if the audit is not done, if the audit is not the audit report is not obtained by the assessee from the chartered accountant, in that case, the penalty is under section 271B, which is 0.5% of that sales or turnover, and the maximum amount is 1.5 lakhs. Right? Now, we all know section 44 AD, ADA, AB. So let us try and clear these concepts. The whole purpose is to clear our concepts. Right? So again, I'll be asking certain questions. Again, you will be responding there. So my first question, Mr. A, he started manufacturing. So in the first year itself, his turnover was all in cash. And turnover was 1.5 crores, 150 lakhs. And the net profit was 8 lakhs. And the total income was 8.50 lakhs. So for this manufacturing activity, my first question out here, can Mr. A, for his manufacturing activity, where the net profit is less than 8%, avail of section 44 AD? Can he avail of section 44 AD? Can Mr. A avail of section 44 AD? सुरेश जैन जी का कहना है नो, जोशी जी का भी कहना है नो, विकास अंकल जी का भी कहना है नो, हेमंत जी का भी कहना है नो, so सभी का कहना है नो. So in this case, whether audit would be required under section 44 AB? Whether the audit would be required under section 44 AB? आशा जी का कहना है नो, हेमंत जी का कहना है यस, सुरेश जी का कहना है नो, विशाल जी का भी कहना है नो. Okay. So a few no's for the tax audit also. Savdar ji ka कहना है yes. Okay. Let us see the answers with the reasons. Bhushan ji ka bhi कहना है yes. Let us see the answers and the reasons. 44 AD no, 44 AB yes. Why? AD no, because my profit is less than 8%, so I cannot avail of 44 AD. It is not about manufacturing. Manufacturing, retail, everyone can use of 4480. 44AB, yes, because my turnover is exceeding 1 crore, all in cash, so my 44ABA triggers. 44ABA triggers. Hence, tax audit is required. Hence, tax audit is required. Right? I have to see again those 5 clauses, na? 44AD, 44AB, A, B, C, D, E, those 5 clauses I have to see. Let us go to another question. Miss B, she is a doctor. Miss B is a doctor, and she's also selling medicines. She has taken the GST number. So now here, for her trading activity, which is all in cash, she has her turnover is 90 lakhs and the net profit is 10 lakh, which is more than 80%. And for the professional fee, the doctor fee, which is receiving 45 lakhs, which is less than 50 lakhs. And the net profit is 25 lakh, which is more than 50% of the gross receipt of the profession. And total return she fills of 32 lakhs. So here, my first question. Can this lady doctor, for her trading activity, where the profit is more than 8%, avail of 44AD? सरोज जी, वो सिर्फ रिटेल ट्रेडिंग के लिए नहीं है, वो बहुत पहले खत्म हो गया था, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वगैरह सबके लिए है. हेमंत जी, सौरभ जी का कहना यस, सुरेश जी, सुमित जी, मनमीत जी का कहना है नो, कैलाश जी का यस, दोषी जी का भी कहना है यस, मंगेश जी का कहना है यस. ओके. Second question, can this lady doctor, where her professional receipt, gross receipt is less than 50 lakhs, profit is more than 50%, can avail of 44ADA? सुरेश जी का कहना है नो, मंगेश जी का यस, सभी का यस आ रहा है. Okay, good. The third question, her trading turnover is 90 lakhs and the professional receipt is 45 lakhs. If we aggregate the both, my total gross receipts exceed rupees 1 crore. Now, in this case, whether audit would be required under section 44AB? क्या इसमें टैक्स रेट होगा? सुरेश जी का कहना है नो, सफदर जी का कहना है नो, विशाल जी का, शीतल जी का, सबका कहना है नो, अशोक कदम जी का भी, मनीष जी का कहना है यस, अपर्णा जी का भी कहना है यस. अच्छा, जो यस कह रहे हैं आप बता रहे हैं, हम कह रहे हैं 44AD ले रहे हैं जिसमें बुक्स मेंटेन नहीं कर रही, 44ADA ले रहे हैं जिसमें बुक्स मेंटेन नहीं कर रहे, तो ऑडिट किसका करेंगे? ऑडिट किसका करेंगे? सोचिएगा. Let us see the answers with the reasons. The basic intention is to clear the concept, right? In this case, the answer 44AD no, ADA yes, and AB no. Why? Why? AD no, because section 44AD says that in case a person is having a professional income, then section 44AD is not applicable to the assessee as a whole. अगर किसी की प्रोफेशनल इनकम आ रही है तो वो 44AD ले ही नहीं सकता, राइट? 44AD है यस, बिकॉज वहां ऐसी कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है. प्रोफेशनल इनकम आप 44AD ले लीजिए. AB नो, बिकॉज वो ABCDE किसी भी क्लॉज में कवर नहीं हो रही. ए, बिजनेस के टर्नओवर 1 करोड़ क्रॉस नहीं कर रही. बी, मेरे डॉक्टर की फीस 50 लाख क्रॉस नहीं कर रही. सी नहीं आता, डी नहीं आता, ई नहीं आता. ऑडिट होगा तो किसी एक क्लॉज में होगा. So in this case, the due date of return would be 31st July. 31st July. Right. Next example. Miss C. She started her business. So in the first year, her trading turnover, which was all in cash, 80 lakhs. And net profit was 4 lakhs, which is less than 8%. Total income, she filed the return for 3 lakhs, which is again exceeding the maximum amount not chargeable to tax. So my first question, can Miss C, yeah, single pan, Manish ji, एक एसएससी का single pan ही होता है, right? In single pan, for the trading activity, proper profit loss you have to fill into ITR 3, and for professional, you can claim 44 ADA. So this question, the third question, can Miss C, for the trading income where my profit is less than 8%, avail of 44 AD? 44 AD कैसे लेंगे दोषी जी? मैडम वो ले नहीं सकते क्योंकि 8% से नीचे है, कैसे लेंगे? नो, राइट राइट राइट। सेकंड क्वेश्चन, क्या इस केस में मेरा 8% से नीचे का प्रॉफिट है, तो क्या इस केस में वुड देयर बी अ टैक्स ऑडिट अंडर सेक्शन 44 एबी? क्या टैक्स ऑडिट होगा? फोर्टी फोर एबी में सभी का नो है, शिल्पा जी, सफदर जी का यस है, सफदर जी का भी यस है, बाकी सभी का नो है। लेट अस सी द आंसर्स विद द रीजंस। 44 AD no, 44 AB no. Reasons: AD no, of course, because the profit is less than 8%, cannot avail of 44 AD. AB no, because it has to fall under any of these 5 clauses A, B, C, D, E. A में आता नहीं, 1 करोड़ क्रॉस नहीं कर रही, B नहीं आता, प्रोफेशन नहीं है, C नहीं है, D नहीं है, E की बात है। E, 2 conditions. One is that the total income should exceed the maximum amount not chargeable to tax. Yes, it is exceeding. So one condition met, both conditions have to met. Second condition is it should fall under 44 AD4. What does 44 AD4 says? 44 AD4 says that where an assessee has availed of 44 AD1, कभी उसने 44 AD का बेनिफिट लिया तो उसको अगले 5 साल तक लेना है, और अगर उसने 5 साल में से किसी एक साल में भी नहीं लिया तो उसको नेक्स्ट 5 साल तक अपना ऑडिट कराना है। इसने कभी भी टैक्स ऑडिट नहीं, अब कभी भी 44 AD का बेनिफिट नहीं लिया। Hence 44 AD4 does not trigger. 44 AD4 would trigger only when a person has availed a 44 AD earlier. ये स्टार्टिंग में भी एक क्वेश्चन था 44 AD समझाएं, वो 44 AD4 समझाएं, वो यही है। For 44 AD4, first you have to avail of 44 AD, then only you can come to 44 AD4. Otherwise, you'll not come. Right? I hope this is clear to everyone. Application of 44 AD is not automatic, please. Right? Suresh, your question है, what if the assessee was 44 AD in first year and doesn't file ITR? If he doesn't file, it could be that his income is below the taxable limits. Right? So fourth year he has to avail the 44 AD. He will have to for the next 5 years. 44 ADA automatic, Nikita ji, 44 ADA means 44 AD is optional. It is not mandatory. 44 ADA is mandatory. If you don't avail and the profit is below 50%, you have to do the, you have to get the audit done. Swadeji, if there is no business income, then of course the 2 years he cannot avail of 44 AD. But fourth year again he'll have to continue. Right? एक बार ले लिया तो 5 साल तक बिजनेस इनकम होगी तो लेना होगा। ठीक है, लेट अस गो टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Mr. D, he is doing trading, and from the trading, which is turnover all in cash, is 95 lakhs. He also has certain commission income, which is 6 lakhs. So net profit is of course 15 lakhs and total income 14 lakhs. So here his profit from the trading activity is more than 8%. So my first question here, can Mr. D, for his trading activity where the profit is more than 8%, avail of 44 AD? No. दोषी जी का कहना है यस, सुरेश जी का कहना है यस, सुधीर जी, गौरव जी का कहना है नो, प्रियेश जी का कहना है यस। ओके, इस केस में क्या टैक्स ऑडिट होगा? Whether there will be tax audit in this case? सुरेश जी का कहना है यस, सुमित जी का कहना है यस, विशाल जी का कहना है, प्रियेश जी का, सबका कहना है यस, सदर जी का कहना है नो, yes, no. Good that we have got different views, because whenever there are different views, then we can discuss. Right, let us see the answer with the reasons. एक अभी ये बोला अपल शाह जी ने, if turnover is 1.56 crore, it doesn't matter, up to 2 crores it is there, up to 2 crores 44 AD limit is there, right? So 1.56 crore, it doesn't matter. So the answers: 44 AD no, 44 AB yes. 44 AD no. Why? Because similar to my professional income, where an assessee is having a commission income, even of 100 rupees commission income, he or she cannot avail of 44 AD. ये नहीं है कि कमीशन इनकम को अदर सोर्स में दिखा दो, कमीशन इनकम नहीं होनी चाहिए. अगर कमीशन इनकम है, दैट पर्सन कैन नॉट अवेल ऑफ 44 AD. AB yes, because my total gross receipt exceeds rupees 1 crore. Right? Hence, tax audit is required. A, B, C, D, E, it covers into A. Now, next question. Mr. E, his turnover, which is all through bank, nothing cash. So, in assessment year 23-24, he had a turnover of 1.5 crores, 150 lakhs, and he availed of 4480. His profit was more than 8%, he availed that. In assessment year 24-25, because 4480 limit was 2 crores. In assessment year 24-25, its turnover has exceeded 2 crores. Now it is 2.25 crores, that is 225 lakhs. And net profit has decreased, which is 10 lakhs, which is less than 8%. Right? A return is filed for 8.5 lakhs. So my question out here, can Mr. E for assessment year 24-25 avail of 4480? Can he avail of 4480? मनीष जी का कहना है यस, और हेमंत जी का, बाकी सबका नो, सुधीर जी का भी कहना है यस, नो. गुड. क्या इस केस के अंदर टैक्स ऑडिट होगा? सारा बैंक से ट्रांजैक्शन है. अपर्णा शब्द जी का कहना है यस, माधव जी का कहना है नो, सुमित जी का नो, विशाल जी का यस. अगेन certain yes, certain no's. Before I go to the answers, certain questions were asked. Vishal ji ka, if a person in first year filed return under 4480, the next year turnover 3 crore but cash transaction less than 5%, 44 AB applies. मेरा ये क्वेश्चन अभी यही था, यही वाला जो क्वेश्चन मैंने पूछा यही वाला है. इसका आंसर देखते हैं. आशा जी, क्वेश्चन, व्हाट अबाउट दोस केसेस वेयर कमीशन रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम LIC रिसीव्ड ऑल्दो वेरी लेस अमाउंट, it is shown as other sources income and 44 AD is availed for business income? In my view, it is not correct, because even the LIC commission is a business income. It doesn't matter that where do you reflect, where do you disclose in the 5 heads. It is not that salary income you disclose as other income or other income you disclose as business income. The nature would change. Commission income, even from LIC, is a business income, right? Okay, so let us see the answers and the reasons, and this is important because this is applicable from this year. 44 AD no, AB yes. AD, of course, no. Reason with, because the profit is less than 8%, because now for assessment year 24-25 the limit has been increased to 3 crores in case my receipts, the cash portion is less than 5%, less than 5% of my gross receipts. In this case, all is through bank, so my percentage of cash receipt is less than 5%. So I can avail of 4480, and last year I availed of 4480. So last year when I availed of 4480, this year I have to avail for next 5 years. So if I have not availed, then 44ABE triggers. E triggers, and I have to do the tax audit. In this case, the case would be different. In if my receipts, the cash portion is more than 5%, then I cannot avail of 4480. Then I cannot avail of 4480, right? So it is a bit interesting situations. Let us see another case. Miss F, her turnover in the first year, all cash assessment at 23-24 was 1 crore 20 lakhs, and net profit was 10 lakhs. She did not avail of 4480. She did not avail of 4480, right? Next year, the turnover for assessment at 24-25 was 2 crore 20 lakhs. And the net profit is 20 lakhs, which is more than 8%. Now, can Miss F, she has not availed of 4480 previous year. This year, the turnover is exceeding 2 crores. Now it is 2.20 crores and net profit is more than 8%. Can she avail of 4480? Can she avail of 4480? Yes. Sumit ji, Asha ji, Amit ji. Yes, Vishal ji, everyone is saying yes. Yes, the answer is correct. Yes, she can avail. There would be no tax audit. Due date is 31st July. Due date is 31st July, the coming month. Right? So I have to be very careful. Next, Miss G, she is a CA. So, practicing as a sole proprietor, her turnover total through banking modes, 60 lakhs. The net profit is 35 lakhs, which is more than 50%, but it is more than 50 lakhs. So in this case, can she avail of 44 ADA? Can Miss G avail of 44 ADA, where my turnover is, gross receipt is exceeding 50 lakhs? Sabda ji ka कहना है no, Suresh ji का कहना है no, Sumit ji ka कहना है yes, Vishal ji ka कहना है no, Mangesh ji ka कहना है yes. So again, we have got different views. I say yes, Asha ji, I'm talking for assessment year 2425. No, yes. इसका क्या टैक्स ऑडिट होगा? प्रॉफिट इज मोर देन 50%, क्या इसका टैक्स ऑडिट होगा 44 AB में? Because my gross receipt exceeding 50 lakhs. No, किंजल जी, आशा जी का कहना है 50 लाख क्रॉस करने के बाद भी नहीं होगा. दोस्त जी का कहना है yes. Let us see. Again, we have got different views. Let us see the answer with the reason. 44 ADA, yes. AB, no. Again, the reason. From this year, if my gross receipt, again, those 5%, the cash portion is less. It is the cash receipt I have to compare with my turnover. Cash receipt with my gross receipts. In that case, it is everything is through checks, banks, hence 44 ADA mandatory up to 75 lakhs. You declare, if not, then there would be audit, but for her, there is no option. If she doesn't go for 44 ADA, then there is a tax audit. But yes, she can go for 44 ADA and there would be no tax audit. Again, the due date 31st July. 31st July. Whenever there is no tax audit, the due date would be 31st July. Next question. Miss G, she is again a chartered accountant, again all through banking channel, 60 lakhs rupees. Net profit is 25 lakhs, which is less than 50%. So now, in this case, can she avail of 44 ADA, where my gross receipt is 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, and my profit is less than 50%? Can she avail of 44 ADA? सुरेश जी का कहना है yes. प्रेम जी का कहना है no. किंजल जी का कहना है यस, बाकी मेहुल जी, मंगेश जी, प्रिंस जी, सबका कहना है नो। 44 ए बी टैक्स ऑडिट होगा इसका? प्रेम जी, मनीष जी का कहना है यस, मंगेश जी का भी कहना है यस, सुरेश जी का भी, मेहुल जी का भी, सभी का कहना है यस। Yes, right. The answer is 44 ADA no, because up to 75 lakhs, where everything is through banking channels, receipts, gross receipts, not payments. Then, of course, 44 ADA is mandatory. So, because it is less than 50%, no 44 ADA. Because it is less than 50%, AB, yes. Right. Let us clear some more concepts. It is not about 44 AD or ADA, only whether tax audit is required or not. This slide, right? First case, Mr. I. He's a professional, so his professional gross receipt is 40 lakhs and business 80 lakhs. Both together crosses 1 crore. So I say everything is in cash. So in this case, whether there would be any tax audit of Mr. I, no, Ashok ji, Suresh ji, माधुरी जी, सभी का कहना है नो। दोनों को मिला के 1 करोड़ क्रॉस कर गया तब भी नो, है ना? मंगेश जी, राइट, everyone is saying no. Yes, the answer is correct, because A, B, C, D, E, neither Mr. I neither comes into A or B. Next question. Ms. J, she's a professional, she's also doing business, so her professional receipt is 80 lakhs and the business turnover is 70 lakhs. So in this case, whether tax audit would be required and required of business or profession, or only profession, no business, that is the question. Tax audit किसका होगा? प्रोफेशन का टैक्स ऑडिट होगा, मनीष जी का कहना। ओनली प्रोफेशन, ओनली प्रोफेशन। सचिन जी का कहना है यस, बोथ, ओनली प्रोफेशन। मंगेश जी का भी कहना है बोथ, अशोक जी का भी कहना है, हर्षित जी का भी कहना है बोथ, नील जी का भी कहना है बोथ। यस, सो द आंसर इज यस, बोथ बिजनेस एंड प्रोफेशन। अगर एसएससी का किसी एक प्रोविजन में ऑडिट हो गया तो उसके बाकी जो भी बिजनेस प्रोफेशन है सभी का टैक्स ऑडिट होगा, अनलेस अनलेस इफ सपोज इसका प्रोफेशनल इनकम में हो रहा है, बट ही नाउ मिस जे कैन नॉट अवेल ऑफ 44 एडी। 44 एडी अगर ले रहे होते, अलाउड नहीं है ना लेना, अगर ले सकते होते तो वो 44 एडी वाला माइनस हो जाता। But here he cannot, Miss J cannot avail of 44 AD, so both business profession का tax audit होगा 44 AD में। Next case, there is a UK based company, Messrs K INC, which is a non-resident. So it is renting certain services in India, fee for technical services, for which the payment is made to it of 11 crores and appropriate taxation, the TDS, which is to be deducted under section 195 as per double taxation avoidance agreement, the whole TDS has been deducted. जितना टैक्स बनता था उसका इंडिया में, उसने उसके हिसाब से TDS डिडक्ट कर लिया। क्या इस केस के अंदर इसका टैक्स ऑडिट होगा? जितना टैक्स डिडक्ट होना था हो गया DTAA में, तो टैक्स ऑडिट होगा। सुरेश जी, जतिन जी का कहना है यस, एनी अदर वे? सदर जी का कहना है नो। विशाल जी का भी कहना है. The answer, of course, is yes. Reason. Now, here the tax, if it is deducted as per double taxation avoidance agreement, then that non-resident is required to file the income tax return in India. If the tax is deducted as per the Income Tax Act rates 1158, 20% plus surcharges, then it is given an exception not to file the income tax return. Not to file the income tax return. So in this case, as the tax has been deducted under TTAA, being a business income, the tax audit would be required. Many must be missing this, so kindly take care. The last question in the series, CA Miss L, right? She's a partner in a CA firm, and from that firm, she's getting a professional remuneration of 90 lakhs. So, of course, that is taxable under the head PGBP. So, in this case, whether the tax audit is required under 44AB, whether tax audit is required under 44AB, no. Everyone says no. Okay. There were very old judgments that whatever is the nature of income of the firm, the same nature is there of the partners. Very old judgment. But nowadays, if I say now, recently also there is a judgment that no, it is a part of just like a distribution of my profits, where though it is taxable under PGBP, these are not gross receipts. So there would be no tax audit in this case, though from this remuneration the expenses can be deducted. Though from this income, gross receipts, this remuneration interest expenses can be deducted, but there would be no tax audit. So in this case, again, because the firm is under the tax audit, the partners also get the same date of 31st October, right? Now, let us just revise the essentials of 44 AD. Because if you are going into 44 AD, then there is no tax audit and the due date is 31st July. The basic condition, because sometimes a question comes, there is a company which is having a profit of 3%. Is tax audit required or not required? There is a laws whether tax audit is required or not required. Please, let us understand the basic things. The first thing is, for having a tax audit requirement for the percentage of profit, 4484 is important, which says that first it has to avail 4480 in any earlier year. So if it has not availed a 4480 in any earlier years, then there is no question of percentage of profit at all. You need not see. Then you have to see the other things. Right? So what are the conditions of section 4480? The condition basic is that the eligible assessee should be doing eligible business. Who is an eligible assessee? An eligible assessee is only an individual HUN firm. No company, no LLP, no society, they are not eligible assessees. So no 4480 for them. And they should, these three also, individual HUF firm, they should not be availing of any deduction under section 10A, 10AA, 10B, 10BA, or chapter 6A, part C, 80H onwards. They should not avail of any of these deductions. So these are eligible assessee who should be doing eligible business. What is an eligible business? Any business except those goods transport vehicle 44AE wala. And the turnover should be less than 2 crores or 3 crores as the case may be. If my turnover exceeds 2 crores and my cash portion is more than 5%, then I am out of 44AD. Or if it is above 3 crores and my 100% is through check, I am out of 44AD. I am not doing an eligible business. So eligible assessee should be doing eligible business. But again, there is a subsection 6 which says that the following persons, if they are carrying the following activities, the persons carrying the following activities and having income from those cannot avail of 44AD. The section is not applicable. These are the profession under section 44AA1, only profession under section 44AA1, second commission or brokerage, थर्ड एजेंसी बिजनेस. तो अगर 100 रुपए का भी कमीशन है, it is not where you put it, other source or business, wherever it may be. The whole section is not applicable to 44. 4480 is not applicable to that person. Right? And another condition is that they have to declare a profit, deeming profit 8% or 6% or more. Or more. So when is this 6%? When is this 6%? 6% when they can sir. हेमंत जी, अभी मैंने ये क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया है कि सीए फर्म से अगर उसको रेम्युनरेशन आ रहा है तो होगा कि नहीं होगा. When all bank transactions, please take care. No cash transactions is right, but that debtors should have been realized. Not 95% bank transaction. The 6% can be there only for my sales turnover, which is received other than by cash mode, before the due date of filing of return under section 139(1). यहाँ पे कई बार मिस कर जाते हैं, सोचते हैं डेटर्स हैं वो मेरे अगस्त सितंबर में आ जाएंगे तब भी हम उसका 6% ले लेंगे. नो, if it is not received before the due date of filing of ITR, that percentage would be 8 and not 6. डिजिटल पेमेंट में भी कब तक आना चाहिए? Before the due date of filing of ITR. This someone might miss, right? हेमंत जी, आपका क्वेश्चन मैंने दे दिया, आंसर दे दिया था. मनमीत जी, first year turnover 80 lakh, second 90 and third 110. Only tax audit under 44 AB clause required in third year. In third year, because first and second year he has not availed about 44 AD, which I presume. In third year, 110 lakhs, the audit would be there only if my cash portion of receipt payment is more than 5% of my total receipts or total payments. If everything is through check, then no tax audit. Please take care here. Many of the employees or businessmen, they are having trading from the securities and future and options. In my future and options, only my gains or losses aggregate is the turnover. Normally, it will not exceed 10 crores because there the audit limit is 10 crores. It is not the whole value of the transaction, but the gains and losses. So in that case, my due date would always be 31st July. उसमें cash की transaction नहीं होती है. Hence, my due date would be 31st July. Please take care. सुरेश जी का क्वेश्चन है, turnover from handloom trading is 50 lakhs. Turnover from F&O trading is 53 lakhs. मेरा सारा कुछ बैंक से है, तो there is no requirement. There is no 44AD. Second question, can the assessee avail 44AD for handloom trading and show balance sheet for future and options? Yes, he can do so. Yes, he can do so. Right? Yes, debtors due from 2 years. Sheetal ji, no, it cannot go for उसका 8% ही होगा, 8% ही होगा, right? Not 6%. Yoga income, of course, it is my business, so it would be 44AD. Singer doing his work on freelance basis, eligible for 44AD or ADA. Now here, the thing is, let me show my next slide, and then next few questions can be taken. Suresh Reddy ji ke question ka. Here he is having two different businesses. So for one, he wants to avail of 44AD. My handloom trading, he can avail. And for another, of course, for future and options, one should not avail of 4480 because my actual profit I have to always show. So go for the normal balance sheet profit loss. If I've got two different businesses, of course, for one I can take and another I cannot take. I have no option, right? Now here, going further, one of the most important thing is that when I declare 8% or 6% or more, it should be, whatever I declare should be commensurate with my funds flow. It is not that suppose there is a coaching income, tuition income, of course, which can be covered under 4480. So say you get a receipt of 2 crore rupees, you deposit 2 crores into the bank and say, take tax on 16 lakhs. It is not logical, it is not legal correct. Because whatever you declare would be deemed to be the profit, and others would, you are yourself saying that it is not my profit from that business. So that could be other source for which if you don't explain, then that would be, of course, taxable at different rates. So it should be commensurate with the fund flow. That is very important. Right. Now, the amendment for assessment year 24-25, 4480, which we have already discussed, just for your notice again, this limit has been increased to 3 crores if the aggregate of the amounts received during the previous year in cash do not exceed 5% of the total turnover or the gross receipts. Right? There is a difference between gross receipts and total receipts. Gross receipt is again the thing which I say turnover based, right? And a total receipts are my total bank and cash collections receipts and all those things. And similarly for 44 ADA, it is same 50 lakh to 75 lakhs. I have to see my cash receipt and compare it to my 5% with my gross receipts, right? ADA essentials. Now what happens? Many a time we feel that when my tax is deducted under section 194J, myself is a professional and I have to go straight forward to the 44 ADA. It is not so. And who can avail of 44 ADA? Only two categories, only individual and firm. No HUF, no LLP, no company, no one can avail of 44 ADA except individual and firm. And only those who are having an income from a profession, engaged in profession under section 44 AA1, read with the rule 6F. If they are not under 44 AA1 read with rule 6F, they are not covered under 44 ADA. And of course, gross receipt has to be less than 50 lakhs or 75 lakhs, which we have discussed. And of course, the deemed profit should be 50% or more, and it should be commensurate with my funds flow. And what is this 44 AA1 read with the rule 6F? Again, given certain profession defined under the given under the section and certain notified under rule 6F, which is that legal, medical, engineering, architectural, accountancy, technical consultancy, interior decoration, authorized representative, company secretary, this film artist, actors, cameraman, editor. Now, these are film artists related to film. That singer who is not a film artist would not be a profession under 44 ADA. Now, medical, one question was if the Indian Medical Association says this is a medical service, then it would be a medical service. So they will have to go for 44 ADA. And last is notified is information technology, those who are preparing this mobile apps, websites, all those things. So only these are covered under 44 ADA and not any other. Not any other, right? Certain questions now. I've answered this dietitian one. F and O for profit loss account, gross turnover is numerical or positive, negative, so loss should be shown on debit side, so the net income matches with the broker. So Ateji, I could not understand this question. My transaction value is different, my profit loss is different. In my books of accounts, I just enter my profit or loss. So, and it could be, suppose my Total gains from my F&O is 8 lakhs and my losses are 10 lakhs. So my net loss is 2 lakhs. But the turnover calculation is 8 plus 10, that is 18, right? But I don't have to show that as my sale purchase. That would be net gain in my profit loss, or net loss of 2 lakh rupees. But the calculation for the purpose of my tax audit applicability would be plus aggregation of positive and negatives. Manamit ji, whether AO can ask for books if ITR filed under 44AD, the question, the language has to be different. Can I supply the books if the ITR is filed under 44AD? AO can ask anything. You know, whether it is required or not, he can ask anything. But when you are having your filing your return under 44AD, you need not provide the books. You say, no, books are not required, so I have not maintained. So if we don't maintain books, how can someone say debtors are due for 6%, 8%? If you see the ITR 4 or ITR 3 or ITR 5, you have to give the 4 items, cash, debtors, creditors, no? तो मुझे ये तो पता कि मैंने जितना सेल किया उसमें से कितना पैसा आया कितना नहीं आया. And take my words, every businessman knows about his business to the least what we can think about. उनको अपने सब लेनदारी देनदारी स्टॉक सब कुछ पता है. हम सोचते हैं उसको नहीं पता, सब कुछ पता है. So sales में से कितना पैसा आ गया कितना नहीं आया, debtors he is having those. He may not be officially maintaining the books of account, but he is having those details. So he has to check that. Can Kainaz ji ka question hai, can a professional take benefit under section 44 ADA, flat 50% of them, even the expenses are not? I just answered that. No. Whatever is your fund flow, according to that. Please, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप 50% टैक्स देके आपने 50 lakhs बैंक में जमा कराए और 25 lakhs पे टैक्स दे दें. You cannot generate capital without paying the tax. Authorized representative, there are certain persons who are authorized representatives, say, who are ITPs, STPs, who are representing representative services hoti हैं that. Asha ji ka Sharma, accountancy covered part-time accountant also. Yes, it is not about professional qualification. It is about the nature of service. There can be a chartered accountant who is having a restaurant. So that restaurant will not become his professional service, right? So it would be the nature of service. It is nowhere written that he should have that professional qualification. Consultant of import and export, his receipt is 20 lakhs last 3 years, audit under 44 ABD due to receipt. I just told you 44 ADA is not applicable to such consultant. Please see, he would be covered only if his gross receipt exceed 50 lakhs. Neil Gonzalez ji, आपने का क्वेश्चन है पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म हैविंग टर्नओवर 5 lakhs हैविंग लॉसेस वेदर टैक्स ऑडिट रिक्वायर्ड. आप मुझे बताइए, आपको अगर ये डाउट है तो बताइए कि कौन से क्लॉज में ऑडिट करेंगे. ABCDE 44 ABCDE में से कौन से में बनता है? मेरे हिसाब से किसी में नहीं बनता. आपको लगता है तो मेरे से जरूर शेयर कीजिएगा. किंजल जी, a company providing technical services turnover 100% through bank. Okay, gross receipt 1.5 crores. Now, if you are saying technical consultancy, if it is covered under the definition of technical services, though I would say a company normally is not covered under a profession. So in this case, in my view, it would be, the limit would be 10 crores. प्रशांत जी, फाइनेंशियल इंडिकेटर्स मैं शायद पिछले क्वेश्चन से कोरिलेट नहीं कर पा रहा. If the assessee fails to file his ITR, though taxable in subsequent years, say 2 years after billing 44AD in first year, can we say he breached the continuity of 5 years, not eligible to bill benefit in the 4th year? Assessee fails to file this ITR, says 2 years after billing 44AD. You want to say that he was having a taxable income but did not file. So he has not opted out. he has not opted out here because he has not filed the ITR. In case an F&O income is less than 68%, then for audit profit, stated turnover is 18 lakhs. So we to show the loss of 10 lakhs or that loss of 2 lakhs is effective. In profit loss, in my say, if my loss, it is other expenses, income, other income. I should not prepare my books of accounts just by income tax or GST. I have to understand my basic accounting principles. If in my future and option other there is a um, contract and there is a loss incurred, I am booking that loss. So I have to just book the loss. It is neither my purchase nor my sale nor my turnover. नील बंसाली जी, आपका क्वेश्चन है प्रोफेशनल इनकम है, then also you tell me A B C D E किस में आ रहा है? 5 lakhs का टर्नओवर लॉसेस ए में आता है, बी में आता है, सी में आता है, डी में आता है, ई में आता है. किसी एक में आएगा तभी तो ऑडिट करेंगे ना. आप मुझे वो क्लॉज बता दीजिए बस. मेरे हिसाब से किसी में नहीं आता. आपको लगता है किसी में आता है तो काइंडली टेल. The assessee has opted for 4418 assessment at 2122. He opted out at 2324. He is liable to get his audit of 24 as well. Yes. Yes, he is required for next 5 years. He is required for next 5 years. Right. So I hope I'm till this time I've been able to answer all the questions. License office, actually, if I talk about license office, cannot do any business in India. License officer, they cannot do any business. Authorized representative, I just told that I am representing someone. I have to sell a non-resident to sell a property. He appointed a person. He's authorized representative. Then certain person are authorized representative. There is a whole section under Income Tax Act. I suppose 160 something like that. So according to that, or ITP or STP, all those. We have business turnover. Pathik ji ka question hai. We have business turnover is 1 crore and commission income is 10 lakh and net profit is 10 lakh. Now, 44 AB applicable depends upon my cash percentage because my gross receipt is 1 crore 10 lakhs. So my cash portion of receipts and payments I have to see. Swati ji, not business. I am speaking for the person who gets paid. No. His services could be different, na? He is not representing. So for the license office, I'm doing an audit. I'm rendering what is my nature of service? It depends upon my nature of service. Right? Chali. 44 ABA, yes, everyone knows when it is 1 crore, 10 crore. 10 crore only if aggregate of all amounts received in cash do not exceed 5% of the said amount and aggregate of all payments made in cash do not exceed 5% of the said payment. A simple question. Let us take this case as that of a proprietorship concern. Sole proprietorship, where all the payments have been done by banking channels, no cash, zero cash payments. As regarding receipts, his turnover is 6 crores, sales is 6 crores, out of which 20 lakhs is in cash. 5% of 6 crore is 30 lakhs. But what has come in cash is only 20 lakhs. However, being a proprietor, he wanted certain money in his bank, so he introduced 25 lakhs in cash. He also needed certain more money for working capital, so he received a loan from his brother of 50 lakhs by NEFT. With these details of my receipt, whether the tax audit is required under 44 AB or not. क्या इस केस में 44 AB का ऑडिट होगा? सोल प्रोप्राइटरशिप 6 करोड़ का 5% 30 lakhs होता है, only 20 lakhs is in cash. Proprietor himself on his own account introduced 25 lakhs in cash. So इस केस में क्या टैक्स ऑडिट होगा? किंजल जी, गौरव जी का कहना नो, चिराग जी का नो, सुरेश जी का कहना यस, गोपाल जी का कहना नो. मनमीत जी का कहना है yes. So again we have got different views. जितेंद्र मोहन जी का कहना है yes. माधुरी जी का कहना है no. शीतल जी का भी कहना है no. राजेश जी का भी कहना है no. Okay. Let us see the answer. The answer is yes, required. I have to see the total receipts. For that sole proprietorship form, when I prepare my receipt and payment account, will the amount received as capital will not be shown as a receipt? Yes, so my total receipt is 45 lakhs. Cash receipt is 45 lakhs and total receipts is 6 crore 75 lakhs, which exceeds 5% of the total receipts. So it is required. It is required. Right? Now, let me take another case. Let me take another case. Suppose there is a proprietorship concern whose turnover is 8 crores. All payments through check, all payments through bank. Right? And he says कि मेरा tax audit कर दो. So is it mandatory or optional? Can I do the tax audit or not? Is it optional or mandatory? Can I do the tax audit or not? Optional. No tax audit, optional. शीतल जी, शिल्पा जी कहना ऑप्शनल कर सकते हैं. मनीष जी का भी कहते हैं ऑप्शन. आशा जी का कहना नो टैक्स ऑडिट. गांधी जी का क्वेश्चन है टैक्स कंसल्टेंट्स एंड टैक्स एडवोकेट्स. If they are advocates, they are legal services 44AA1, not tax consultants. जतिन जी का कहना नो. The answer is किसी लॉ में कंट्री के ऐसा किसी एक्ट के अंदर ऐसा नहीं होता कि ऑडिट ऑप्शनल हो. या तो ऑडिट है या नहीं है. You cannot do a tax audit where it is not applicable, because just merely doing a tax audit, its due date will not change. It will remain 31st July. Any loss will not be allowed to be carried forward. Secondly, जो clause 8 में आप 3CD में लिखते हैं, which clause will you write A, B, C, D, E, and then you will say true and correct? You cannot do that. You cannot do that. It is mandatory. You cannot do the tax audit. Please see. And if you do, kindly take care. You could be guilty of a professional misconduct under the second schedule of the Chartered Accountants Act, Part 1, Clause 1. You are disclosing more than required. Caro not required, you give. Tax audit not required, you do. Cannot do, please. Right? Please take care. In सबके केस के अंदर ड्यू डेट 31st जुलाई, except for companies and LLPs, क्योंकि उनका Companies Act LLP Act में ऑडिट होता है साथ साथ. Right? And of course, you have to take care. If it is a non-account pay check or draft, then it is treated as cash. It has to be an account pay check or draft. Now, just an overview of the presumptive income. You see these are 7 sections. And if you see serial number 4 and serial number 6, there you cannot declare less than the deemed profits. There would be no tax audit, but that you have to declare at least the deeming profits. My clause serial number 2, 3, 5, and 7, if you declare less than the deeming profits, then the audit provision is contained under the respective sections, and audit is required under the 44AB relevant clauses. Only in the case of business, you have to see that if you are first of any time avail of 44AD and not availed in any of the 5 years, then for next 5 years there is an audit. ये 5 साल वाली कहानी जो है सिर्फ 44AD बिजनेस में है और किसी प्रिजम्पटिव इनकम में नहीं है. Right? Just summarizing this audit for business, few limits below 1 crore, between 1 to 2 crore, between 2 to 3 crore, between 1 to 10 crore, and above 10 crore. If the assessee is having a turnover more than 10 crores, आपको कुछ नहीं देखना, उसका tax audit होना ही होना है. If the assessee is between 1 to 2 crores, then of course you have to see whether he is an individual HO or firm, and if he is availing of section 44AD, तो आपको cash portion कुछ नहीं देखना. 44AD ले रहा है, 100% cash dispute, 100% cash payment हो सकता है. बट अगर उसी इंडिविजुअल HO फर्म की टर्नओवर बिटवीन 2 to 3 करोड़ है, तो आपको देखना कैश पोर्शन मेरा रिसिप्ट का कितना है, 5%. अगर 5% से नीचे है तो आप 44AD ले सकते हो. 5% से ऊपर है और पहले आपने 44AD लिया, 5% से ऊपर है तो आपको चेक करना है कि मैं 44AD नहीं ले सकता, तब मैंने पहले 44AD लिया हुआ है तो मेरे को टैक्स ऑडिट करना पड़ेगा. Otherwise, I will go to 1 to 10 crores. 1 to 10 crores, then I see receipt payment, cash portion comparing with my total receipts. If both are less than 5%, the limit is 10 crores. If any one is exceeding 5%, then it is 1 crore. Below 1 crore, only for the individual HUF and firm if they have earlier availed of 44AD. पहले कभी 44AD लिया और अब नहीं लिया तो ऑडिट होगा, अदरवाइज कभी ऑडिट नहीं होगा. आपका पहले साल 70 लाख 80 लाख, दूसरे साल भी 70 80 लाख, तीसरे साल भी, और आपका मान लीजिए 1 करोड़ तक अगर मैं बात करूं, देयर इज 100% कैश रिसीट पेमेंट, not going for 44AD, no audit required. Whatever is your percentage of profit, go on filing. You can keep on filing a normal ITR, balance sheet profit loss. Just take care of accounts under 44AA1, 44AA2, right? So this is all audit about business. Now, before going for gross receipt, because we are running short of time, a company incorporated in February 24, still it can get company audited even not required. कौन से लॉ में मनमीत जी? कंपनीज एक्ट ऑडिट नहीं है. कंपनीज एक्ट में ऑडिट नहीं कर सकते. एक्ट के अंदर वो फाइनेंशियल ईयर क्लोज ही नहीं होता. ऑडिट आप जिसका मर्जी करें, बट कंपनीज एक्ट ऑडिट नहीं है. द कंडीशन इज ऑडिट इज रिक्वायर्ड अंडर एनी अदर लॉ, इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, राइट? Sadarji, I always share my presentations. At the end, I'll tell where I'll upload this presentation. You can always download from there. Since 2008, I have been uploading all my presentations. There are more than thousands on my website, lunaut.com. You can do that. Ronak ji, 2 to 3 crores. मान लीजिए, so suppose your the assessed turnover is 2.5 crores or 2.75 crores or below 3 crores. Then you have to see my total receipts, उसमें कैश पोर्शन कितना है. अगर कैश पोर्शन मेरा टर्नओवर का 5% से लेस है, टर्नओवर का मेरे को क्या 1 to 10 करोड़ के अंदर मेरे को रिसिप्ट्स का कंपेयर करना पड़ता है 5%. एंड इन दिस केस आई हैव टू कंपेयर 5% माय कैश रिसिप्ट विद माय टर्नओवर इटसेल्फ. अगर टर्नओवर का 5% से ज्यादा का कैश रिसिप्ट है, देन आई कैन नॉट अवेल ऑफ 44AD. Kinjal ji ka question, chartered accountants having a receipt of less than 50 lakhs, 70 lakh, but profit is also less than 50%, not opting, then of course audit is required. Audit would be required, madam. Audit would be required. Mandatory hai. No option. No option. 44ADA is mandatory. If you don't avail of that, then audit is mandatory. Right. Gross receipts, when you say, when you calculate, one question is always there. If I talk about, of course, in your sales, whatever is turnover is not defined, but normally if I see my Companies Act, the turnover is given, which is my actually the sale proceeds. I'm not going too much technical into that. I've already shared, I'm sharing my tax audit series in which this total detail, what is sales, turnover, gross receipt is there. So I'm just sharing what is there. I will tell you where those series are there. You can download it from there. So sale proceeds of scrap, wastage, etc. If it is not included in sale turnover, then you have to add, because sometimes you show that as my other income. So you have to include to arrive at the gross receipt. Sales plus sales of scrap would be my gross receipt. Plus, if any advance is received from the customers for the purpose of my business, then that is forfeited. Then that would be forming part of my gross receipts, though you may show it as other income. Similarly, cash assistance under any scheme of the government, that would be forming part of my gross receipts. Liquidated damages, duty drawbacks, export incentives. You in my profit loss account, I'll be showing that my other income, but for arriving at my gross receipt, I have to add that. Insurance claims for my goods, not for PPE, not for my PPE, but other insurance claims, loss of profit or others, would be my gross receipts. In case I'm having an export sales, my net foreign exchange difference on the export sales only, that would be forming part of my gross receipts. In case I'm a business of NBFC, my gross interest, if I'm having a income from business, my rental income is treated not as from house property, but a PGBP, I treat it like that. Then my rental income would be my gross receipts. In case I am a dealer of shares and securities, it would be the dividend income would be my gross receipts. Take care, even though it would be tax under income from other source, though it would be my other income, but for the computation of gross receipts for the purpose of tax audit, it would be gross receipts, dividend income. In the case of the dealer of shares, not investment dealers, my stock in trade, commission, brokerage, service, and other incidental charges received in chit fund business, that would be my gross receipts. I incur certain expenses and get it reimbursed. If I credit it to a separate account, then to the extent of surplus is my gross receipt. If I add that into my bill itself and don't credit to separate account, then it would be my gross receipts. Then in case of my higher purchase income, the higher charges and installments received. In case of lessor, my finance income would be my forming part of my gross receipts. The higher charges of the cold storage for the cold storage business would be my gross receipts. Section 28(4), value of any benefit or perquisite, whether convertible into money or not, arising from the business or profit. This pay TDS katta 194 R mein, that would be my gross receipts. In case of advertising charges by an advertising agent, which is from the client, where the books, where in the books, the where he books the advertisement space in bulk and then recover charges from different, then my advertisement charges would be gross receipts. Otherwise, only the commission would be there. A tour operator conducts a package tour, so he charges a lump sum for the package tour. That would be gross receipts. There is no commission because he takes everything, hotel, aircraft, and everything total together, and then he charges separately. So in that case, package tour, my gross receipts would be there. Exclusions, which will not be forming part of my gross receipts. Thus, if I've got certain investments and I sell them, whether it is shares or investment property, the sale proceed therefrom. My PP, my fixed assets, I have a profit thereof, including the amount forfeited thereof, that would not be forming part of my gross receipts. Interest income, if I'm not into NBFC activities, it's not my business income, other source, it will not be forming of my gross receipts. Dividend income, if I'm not a dealer in shares, I'm just an investment and I get the dividend, not be forming part of my gross receipts. Reimbursement of custom duty and other charges collected by the clearing agent, that would be my gross, that would not be forming part of my gross receipts because I'm just getting the actual reimbursement. Share of profit of partner or firm from LLP excluded from the total income, that would not be forming part of my gross receipts, right? Liabilities, provisions of creditors, or the expenses or taxes written back, these will not be forming part of my gross receipts. If my rental income is income from house property, then it will not be forming part of my gross receipts. Reimbursement of advertising charges by advertising agent from the client. अखबार में या टीवी में ad book रहा है, उसका reimbursement लिया. No, only the commission income. Only in case of bulk booking, it is my gross receipts. Agricultural receipts, not are my gross receipts. Traveling agent amount received from clients for payment to airline, railways, etc. as reimbursement. These are not forming a part of my gross receipts. Interest remuneration received by partner from partnership firm, again, not gross receipts. We have already discussed that Bombay High Court judgment. In case of recruiting agent, the amount received from the client by way of reimbursement of advertisement, again, these are not part of my gross receipts, right? So we have already exceeded the time. Should we close now? Because I suppose we should close now. I'll just turnover. It is basically the same. Sale of scrap byproduct.
So you can complete, please, the remaining PPTs if there is any. Yeah.
I'll be sharing the PPT, of course. But again, this turnover gross is basically same. Sale of scrap would be included. Sale of proceed of shares which is held as stock in trade. Cash discount allowed in invoice is not to be deducted, is to be included, of course. Commission on sales would be my turnover. GST or other indirect taxes was included, because one question is there whether GST would be included in the turnover. It would be included only if it is not separately charged. अगर inclusive method है, then part out turnover. Exclusive है, मैं expressly GST extra charge करके इसको separate account में credit करता हूँ. Exclusive method में will not be forming part of. I take a credit or make that on, even if I don't take a credit, but I pay that thereof. Composition वाला जो होगा वो turnover में आएगा. Other than composition वाला नहीं आएगा. So exclusions again, GST was not included in price for accounting. Sale proceeds of PPE, sale proceeds of investment, share discounts. So these are exclusions. Trade discount, even if allowed by a separate trade note, would be excluded. Right? Ancillary charges, sales return, price adjustments. This would be reduced from my turnover. Shares agency के लिए agency business में commission is my turnover. शेयर ब्रोकर के केस के अंदर कमीशन, डिलीवरी बेस्ड के अंदर टोटल वैल्यू ऑफ सेल्स, स्पेकुलेटिव में एग्रीगेट ऑफ बोथ पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव. वी हैव डिस्कस दैट. अगेन डेरिवेटिव टोटल फेवरेबल अनफेवरेबल. अगर स्क्वायर्ड ऑफ अगर ईयर एंड में नहीं हुआ तो जिस साल में स्क्वायर ऑफ होगा उस साल में टर्नओवर काउंट होगी, इस साल में नहीं होगी. ऑप्शन के केस में प्रीमियम, if it is included to determine the profit, then not. I'll have to skip these. क्योंकि उसमें बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा. This is the portal expertspanel.in. Anyone can join, sign up. It is totally free of cost, and you'll receive a link, and when you click on that link, your account will be activated, which is free of cost. You can ask a question, answer will come to your email ID. The answers would remain here also. Any category you can ask, GST, income tax, corporate law, audit, anything you can ask. And with the various articles, presentations, videos, notifications, category wise you can see. What I was talking about my tax audit series, on this search, you can go to articles and type the tax audit series. You'll get that version currently, which I'm sharing is 4.0. Again, for the audit trail, I have already shared audit trail, reporting on audit trail, how to report the wording, which is given here. You can go to articles, type audit trail, you'll get that. Also various others like company auditor series also we have shared. So you go for that subject, you'll get so many of article presentation. We currently here more than 36,000 answers have already been answered in past few years. 36,000 answers by more than 125 experts and around 10,000 queries who are there. So it is free of charge. Anyone can see that and avail of that. And this presentation, of course, I'll upload on this portal. Anyone can download from here. All my presentations since I just said 2008-9, I have uploaded here. So wherever I make a presentation, I upload here. So anyone can use that free of cost. Again, thank you very much for your very, very patient hearing. And of course, though we could not talk, but again, through our communications through the chat, we were able to discuss a lot of queries. And thank you for answering so many questions out there. So I'll stop sharing now.
Thank you, sir, for a very informative session. And to watch this video again, here I'm sharing our community link of GyaanStation. There you can visit and you can find the uploaded recording of this session as well as PPT circuit portal पे रहेगा.